Hello, this is Mr. Disease. Today we're going to look at law of sine, when to use law of sine. One thing you need to be aware of when using law of sine, you're mainly using for oblique triangle, triangle that are not right triangle. You can use it for right triangle, but mainly it is used for non-right triangle, oblique triangle. So when using law of sine, there are two situations where you can use law of sine. Either you are giving an angle side, or you are giving two lengths of the major, and that's an angle that is not between the two, those lengths that are side angle. So mainly use law of sine when you have angle side or angle side angle. And remember, in any triangle, if you know two angles, you can always find the third angle. So the main objective when using law of sine, you need to determine if you have a scale factor where you have an angle and a side that is opposite to it. You must have an angle and a side that is opposite to it. That will become your scale factor. Then you will be able to set your proportion. So the main objective when using law of sine, you need to have a scientific calculator in a handy, because you will have to do a lot of calculation. So law of sine goes this way: sine of an angle. So remember, the angle are represented by capital letter over side of that angle. The side are represented by lowercase angle. So if you find sine of angle A, it should be over side of A equal to sine of B over side of B, sine of C over side of C, or you can do vice versa, reciprocal. So whatever order that you start, if you start with angle as your numerator, you have to end up with angle as your numerator all the way, otherwise you will have a mess. So this is how you use law of sine. Remember, the key goal when using law of sine, you need to have what you call a scale factor. Based on that, and you just need to have a scientific calculator, then we're gonna start doing some application. So law of sine is very effective, very easy to know. Once you have a hand of it, you can use it all the time. So let's see where you have a few examples, and we don't get at it. So once we do a couple examples, then you will see that law of sine is not that big of a deal. So just pay attention and bear with me. The first step, if you are giving two angles the triangle, the first step is to find the third angle. In this situation here, we have triangle, this triangle, you have two angles, and it is essential to find the third angle. If you don't have the third angle, therefore you will not be in business, and that's one of the objectives when using law of sine. Alright? And the third UAC is 8 unit. You must have a side that is that. So first step, we're going to find measure of angle A. So in order to find measure of angle A, remember, measure of angle A in this case will be measure of angle B, which is 28 degrees, right, plus measure of angle C, which is 42 degrees. And since it's a triangle, the sum of the two angles must be equal to 180. Then you will be able to find the third angle. In this case, you will have measure of angle A plus, if you take 42 plus 30 plus 28, that will give you 70 degrees is equal to 180. Then you subtract 70 from each side, then you'll find measure of angle A is 110 degrees. Remember, your pictures are not drawn to scale. So that's the first thing that you need to know. Alright? Now, we have the three angles. Now, it is very essential. You have angle B, and you have this side that is opposite to it. Little b is 8. It is very important. This will become your scale factor. So now you can start with sine B. Right? Over little b, which is 8. Right? Is equal to sine C. Sine C in this case is 42 over little c. Right? And equal to sine A over little a. Now the only thing we have to do is to replace those information, and calculator will do the rest for us. So that the main objective when using law of sine. Alright. Now we know what angle B is. Angle B is 28. Then that will be sine of 28 degrees over 8 is equal to sine C. In this case, we know sine C is 42 degrees and is over little c. Then, based on that, you will solve that equation, that proportion, you will get that. Now, to find the other part, we're going to use this part, which is very essential. The scale factor, that will be sine of 28 again, over 8 is equal to sine A, which is 100, sine of 100 degrees over little a. Then that will be the other equation. Then we're going to use calculator to help us figure out the other missing thing. Then I get my friend, which is my calculator. Then in this case, I already know that. Then you're going to do cross multiply here. That would be sine of 28 degrees times c is equal to 8 sine of 42. 8 sine of 42 degrees. In this case, in order to find c, you will have to divide both sides by sine of 28 and divide this by sine of 28. And in some tests, that will be your answer. But since you may have to round, then you will have to answer those information. And that will be 8. Then we're going to find what sine of 42 is. Alright? Enter your calculator. Your calculator, make sure your calculator is in degree mode. And you press 42. Press the sine function. And it's telling you sine of 42 is 0.691. And you will find what sine of 28 is. Then you find 28 and you press sine, and that gives you that. Some calculator you will be able to do everything at once. So since I want to show you this step, then that's the best way to do that. Now you take this 8 times 691. Your numerator will be 5.3528, and you divide this by 0.4695, and again calculator will do the rest for you. Then if I take this, I divide it by 0.4695, and it will tell me that C is 11.4012, and this is your answer. If you round this to the nearest 10, that would be 11.4. To the nearest 100, that would be 1140. So in this case, the best answer for C is 11.4. Right? That's the first one. The second one, you come here again, you solve for that, you do cross multiply. When you do your cross multiply, you end up with 9. Alright, that's A. I will give you a sine of 28. Now you will have sine of 28 times a is equal 8 sine of 100. But to find a, you will have to divide by sine of 28 on both sides. We already know what sine of 28 is. This is the good part. This cancels with that. Then you will have 8 times sine of 100. Your calculator again, your best friend. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode and you press sine. Then that will give you 0.9848, and you already know what sine of 28 is. Sine of 28 was that. Then you don't have to do this again. That will be 4695. Then you'll have a equal. Now you take this, you multiply it by 8, and you don't kill your calculator. That will be about 7.8785, and you divide by 0.4695. Divide by 0.4695. Then you will find C. You will find A, which is 16.7698. Once again, if you want this to the nearest tenth, that will be 16.8 to the nearest 100, 16.77. Just on that, you will see why it makes sense. Remember that the larger the angle is, the sine opposite to it is the largest. So as you can see, angle A is the largest angle. Since A is the largest angle, then 16 will be the longest side. So be aware of that when you using law of sine. So by using prior knowledge will help you identifying that. So let's do another one. We have that. Once again, we have this problem. In this case, that will be side angle. Alright, so we know the angle B, and we know this side that is opposite to it. Then that is the scale factor. That's what we're looking for. This is a game changer. You just need to identify an angle and this side that is opposite to it. Then that will be your little b. Right. And that will be sine B. Sine B, which is 33 degrees, over 12, which is your scale factor. Now you can find any other angle. Then that will be sine C. Sine C over 15. Okay, that is the first equation. The second equation, use your scale factor again, you can change it, which is sine of 33 over 12 is equal to, once we find this angle, then we will be able to find the third angle. Then that will be sine A, which we don't know, and over little a. So we are waiting for some information. In this case, we will cross multiply. Then we will end up with 15 sine of 33 is equal to 12 sine C. Okay. Remember, you're looking for C, angle C, you divide both sides by 12, then you will end up with that. Then you will have sine C is equal, then your calculator will have your first find sine of 33. Make sure your calculator is in the good mode, you press sine, and that will give you 15 times sine of 33, this is 0.54463. I divide this by 12, and this will tell you what sine C is. Multiply by 15, that gives you 8 point, I have to show you that, that gives you 16958, and you divide this by 12, that equals sine C. Alright, divide this by 12, then you will have sine C equal 0.680798. Then, since I'm looking for angle, I'm going to do inverse sine. Then you're going to press second shift sine. It will tell you what the angle is. In this case, tell me C, angle C is 42.9 degrees. So this is 42.9 degrees. Now I can find angle A, then I can put it here. So in order to find measure of angle A, I will have this measure of angle A plus 33 plus 42.9 is equal to 180. So we are already on that information. So we'll have angle A plus 33 plus 42.9 is 75.9 is equal to 180. Subtract 75.9 on this side. The measure of angle A is 104.1 degrees. Then I will put it there. Then I will be it is 104.1 degrees. So I can come here and solve for this equation. So cross multiply again. So let me erase some of my mess. So it is essential that you have your scientific calculator that will set you free. Then you will have this 12 times sine of 104.1. 12 times sine of 104.1 degrees is equal to sine of 33A. Sine of 33. Right. Since I'm looking for A, I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 33, and the calculator will do the rest for me. So it is essential that you know how to manipulate your calculator. Then I will take whatever sine of 104.1 is, your calculator, you press sine, it tells me 0.96, 98, 97, alright. Divide by sine of 33. So if I multiply this by 12 first before I click my calculator, it will give me 11.638775 on 1 divided by sine of 33. Whatever sine of 33 is, your calculator again. If your calculator is a little bit more, 33, you press sine. Is 0.54463. So you divide it by 0.54463, and that will tell you what side A is. Then you will have 11.638775 divided by 0.54463, and this tells me side E is 21.3700, and that to the nearest 100. To the nearest 10 will be 21.4, to the nearest 100, 21.37. So round to the nearest 10, that will be 21.4. So in this case, we're done with that problem. This is how you do it when you're dealing with law of sine. So gonna come back to do continuing our lesson. We're asking you to find all of the missing information whenever the action solved for the triangle, you're looking for all of the missing part. In this case, angle A is missing. We need to find angle A. That will be the easiest thing. And side A is missing. We have to find that. And side B is missing. So let's first step, it's easier to find angle A. So as you know in any triangle, if you know triangle, we will always be able to find the third angle. So we can find measure of angle A easily. That measure of angle A will be a measure of angle C, which is 50. Measure of angle A plus measure of angle C plus measure of angle B, which is 80. It's a triangle. The triangle must add up to 180. That triangle stop. Now you will have measure of angle A. You will have 50 plus 80 is 130 plus 130 is equal to 180. Then you subtract 130 from each side. And as you can see, that measure of angle A is 50 without a break. Alright, measure of angle A is 50. As you can see that this is an isosceles triangle. Okay, this is 50, 50 isosceles acute. If this is 50, this has to be 50. Every single, therefore those two sides have to be equal. Easily, you don't need to solve for A. By common sense, AB and BC will be a leg, so we can assume that side A will be 10, because in an isosceles triangle, legs are supposed to be congruent. So we're going to justify that, but that's an easy bit. So the first thing that we have to do, we're going to use that as our break. We know angle C and we know this side that is opposite to it. So we can set it as sine 50, alright, over 10 is equal to sine 80 over B. Then that will be my equation. Then the only thing I have to do is cross multiply, and the calculator will do the rest for me. Then I will end up with 10 sine of 80 is equal to sine of 50 degrees times B. In order to find B, I will have to divide both sine by sine of 50. So the calculator will do the rest for me. Alright, that 10 sine of 50 divided by sine of 50. Then I will have B equal 10 times sine of 80. Get my calculator, my friend. Calculator, press 80, make sure it's in degree mode, and you press sine. It's going to give you 0.984807, right? Divided by sine of 50, and whatever sine of 50 is, again, use your calculator, put 50 and press sine. It gives you sine of 50, which is 0.7660. Now you're going to multiply 10 by that. It's easy. Anything you multiply by that, I'll give you 9 point something. So it shouldn't be limited. 10 multiplied by 0.984807. That will give you B equal 9.84807. Then you divide by 0.7760, and you will have B. The calculator will do the rest for you. You divide this by 0.7660, and it tells you B is 12.85648. Then you round it to whatever the action to round it to. If you round this to the nearest 10, that will be 12.9. Round it to the nearest 100, that will be 12.86. So in this case, we round it to the nearest 10th. That will be 12.9. Alright. As you can see, that will have the same thing. So you don't need to do that. If you set it up, that will be sine of 50. You'll see over A is equal to sine of 50 over 10. When you do cos multiply, this sign going to cancel each other. You find A is prime. So you will have sine of 50 times A is equal to 10 sine of 50. Right, we'll have to divide both sides by sine of 50. Sine of 50 will cancel each other as we predict that. This will cancel with that. Then you'll find A is equal to 10. You don't have to do any of this work because we already determined it is an isosceles angle. Then you're done with this problem. So, enjoy. Wake up, law of sine continue. So this is the situation that we have to find the missing parts. Angle B is missing, so we're going to find angle B. In order to find angle B, that will be measure of angle B plus 130. Alright, measure of angle B plus 130 plus 15 is equal to 180. So we need to find the third angle. So you will have measure of angle B, 130 plus 15 is 145, is equal to 180, and subtract 145 from each side. Then you will find that measure of angle B is 35 degrees. So we know that we find angle B. So angle B is 35 degrees. That was the third angle that was missing. We find that. Now we need to find C. We do C, side C, and we need to find sine B. So we have some way. We know angle A and the sine that is opposite to it. That is our lucky break. That's what we are looking for. We're looking for a scale factor. So we're going to use that to help us set up the equation. So that will be sine of 130. Sine of 130 over 14, that's our scale factor, that's our way, right, is equal to sine of B, which is 35, sine of 35 over B. That will help me find that. So I'm going to do cross multiply, or you call it multiply by your denominator. So continue the old fashioned way, that is 14 sine of 35 is equal to sine of 130 times B. I'm solving for B, therefore I must divide both sides by sine of 130. So get your calculator handy. Then I will have sine of 130. All of this is equal to B. So get your calculator ready. I'm going to find sine of 35. Calculator, make sure it's in clear mode. Sine of 35. And I'm going to multiply this by 14. So I will end up with 14 times sine of 35, which is 0.57. So you can see where I get this number. 576. And divide by sine of 30, 130, sine of 130, which is 0.7660, something as sine of 50. Then I will have 14. Right. And 14. I will have 8.030 that will be really big. So when I do that, divide by 0.7660, then I get B is 10.4831. Since I'm going to the nearest tenth, therefore B is equal to 10.5. Okay, B is 10.5. Now, remember, I'm going to use my scale factor again. The only thing I need to do is to clear that. Right. Getting smarter now, don't need to erase everything. Right. Is equal to sine of C, sine 15, and over C. And I can do my cross multiply. I will end up with 14. Sine of 15 is equal sine of 130. Right. I'll divide both sides by sine of 130. And I will end up with C. Then find 15 plus sine. That's 14 times 0.2588, divided by sine. If you multiply this by 14, you will end up with 3.6234, a bunch of 6, and divide by sine of 130. Find sine of 130, which is 0.7660, and do the calculation. You have 3.623466 divided by 0.7660. Then I find C to be 4.7, which makes sense. Remember, the smaller the angle is, the side opposite to it would be the smaller. The largest angle was A, therefore side A is the longest side. The medium side is B, therefore B was 10.5. And C is the smallest angle, therefore the side opposite to it will be the smallest, which is my numbers fall within range. Those are the things that you need to be aware of. So I will do the last problem. Hopefully you get the concept, and if you practice it to make you put in an application, then you will be able to get the grade. So law of sine is used for any type of triangle, but mainly it is used for oblique triangle that are not right, but you can use it for any problem, any triangle that you can use law of sine. So in this situation with missing angle C, we're going to find the missing angle, which is any triangle. If you know two angles, you can always find the third angle. So that will be angle C plus angle A, which is 40, plus angle B, which is 80, must be equal to 180. That triangle sum. So you'll have angle C, 40 plus 80 is 120, is equal to 180. Subtract 120 from his side. Then as you can see, angle C is 60 degrees. So we find one of the missing parts. Now, it was essential to find angle C, because if you did not find angle C, you will not be able to get your scale factor. This gives us the width that we're looking for. Therefore, we know the angle and we know the side opposite to it. Then we can start by setting the equation. Remember, you need to identify your scale factor. This is the game changer. So you will have sine of 60, which is sine of angle C, 60, over side 7, right, is equal to sine of B, 80, over B. That will give me my first proportion. Then I can solve for that. And I'm going to use my scale factor again. Sine of 60 over 7 is equal to sine A sine of 40 over little a. That gives me my other equation. Then those are the two equations that I'm going to solve to get to other solution. Then I'm going to do cross multiply. I will end up with 7 times sine of 80 is equal to sine of 60 times b. So I'm solving for b. I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 60. Divide both sides by sine of 60. So some, like you said, I said there is some calculator will be able to do all of this in one place. So we're going to divide by sine of 60. I believe I did sine of 60 earlier, which is 0.8660. Alright, and I'm going to take sine of 80 times 7. That will be 7 times that. I have to show you what sine of 80 is. So when you do the computation in your calculator and you know where those numbers are coming from, then you multiply this by 7, you will end up with 6.89365, and you divide by 0.8660. That will tell you what B is. And divide by 0.8660, then B is 7.96023. We're going to round this to the nearest tenth. Therefore, B is about 8 units. This is higher than 5. You have to add 1 to that, and you know, give you the Domino's effect. That will be 8.0 is B. We find B. Right? Now we need to find A. We're going to do cross multiply. Then we will end up 7 sine of 40 is equal to sine of 60 times A. Alright, then you're going to divide both sides by sine of 60. We already know what sine of 60 is. Then it's going to be less work. Then get your calculator again. We're going to do some computation. You can use the join. You don't need that again. Alright. Then this cancel out. Then you'll end up with A. 7 times sine of 40. Find what sine of 40 is. 40 degrees, and you press sine. It's 0.64278. Multiply this by 7, and you will end up with 4.499513. Remember, sine of 60 was that 0.8660, and that will be A. Then use your calculator to do that. Divide by 0.8660, and it tells me A is 5.1957. I want to the nearest tenth. This is my tenth. Then that will be is 5.2. Once again, that was Mr. This in law of sine. So put this on in application. Let's recap. So when using law of sine, it mainly used for angle side, meaning that if you know two angles in a triangle, you can always find the third angle. Then you will have an angle in each side that is opposite to it. And it is also can be used for angle side angle. Once again, if you know two angles, you can always find the third angle. So it can use for side angle. But make sure the angle is not, it is opposite to one of the side. So in this case, you will have to use inverse trig, inverse sign to find one of the missing angle. That was Mr. This. Enjoy, share, like, study, and make the grade. I was here and I'm out. Peace.